What's the word? Tiger!
If I quit your realm, I still rap with Sage's home. If I quit this season, I still be the greatest.
Going to start reading you like a defense. We're going to hear from Coach Shulman, Coach McMillan, Coach Simpson. On with us, also Ava Peters, volleyball student athlete, will join us. Let's get into this week in Skyhawk athletics. What a week that this past week was, and we've got some more UT Martin teams in action. Men's basketball Wednesday at Bradley, Missouri Valley Powerhouse at 7:30 on ESPN Plus. Then volleyball Thursday and Friday, be hosting Tennessee State Senior Day, going to be on Friday, and that is at 6 and 4 respectively. Both of those matches on ESPN Plus. Cross country on Friday, the NCAA South Regional in Huntsville, Alabama. The men in a 10K, the women a 6K. Football on Saturday, Senior Day against Charleston Southern at 1 p.m. on ESPN Plus and the Skyhawk Sports Network. Make sure to join us for Squawk Talk outside the Bob Carroll Football Building at 11:50. And then women's basketball Sunday, back in action after a great game against the Tennessee Lady Volunteers, 8th-ranked team in the country, as Skyhawks are going to take on Fisk at 2 p.m. on ESPN Plus and the Skyhawk Sports Network. Chris, huge week.
Yeah.
And Sunday, we both left the gym and we both said to each other, we're going to fall asleep right away. Well, we had to get right back up and prepare and get ready for this podcast. I hope everybody enjoys it here.
Yeah, let's talk to the coaches. We'll look back and we'll look ahead.
All right, let's go ahead and take a break. Keep it right here, Skyhawk Sports Talk.
If I quit this season, I still be the greatest.
Skyhawk Sports Talk podcast is brought to you by Weekly Ford Nissan.
Welcome back to Skyhawk Sports Talk. Davis Gregory with Chris Brinkley here at the Level Up Arcade Bar at Woodfire Pizza Kitchen. Now joined by head coach of the UT Martin men's basketball team, Jeremy Shulman, as the Skyhawks are 2-0 to start the year for the second straight season. Scored the upset win at UNLV 86-81, and then thumped Kentucky Christian 97-42. And for just the second time in program history today, Chris, UT Martin swept the OVC Weekly Awards. Coach, congratulations on a heck of a start right now.
I appreciate it. It's very exciting for the guys. I mean, the guys have worked obviously extremely hard ever since the summer. And so, this is a nice 24-hour reflection. We talked a little bit off air, a little 24-hour rule, and give them a little bit of time to enjoy it. I mean, this is great, but it's also very early in the season. We got a lot of work to do.
Rarely when I open an email do I applaud, but when I saw that you were at 3 players, I actually cheered. I was excited.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And players of the week. So player of the week, Andrea Bumirovic, he wins player of the week. Dragos Lungu, your newcomer of the week, and then Matas Danusius, the freshman of the week. Back to Andrea. He went 15 of 17 from the field, 7 of 9 from 3, and then 3 for 4 from the line. A blazing start, and I don't really know if he knows how to miss, and that's a good problem to have.
It is. I'll tell you, that's pretty good. That was 90%. That's pretty good.
Right. Yeah, almost 90% from the field.
I'm just so happy for him. Andrea obviously came with me from Eastern Florida. He's a guy who had only been playing basketball a couple of years before we got him at Eastern Florida. And his dad is a chess master in rural Serbia.
Oh,
that's pretty cool. Literally a chess master. It's phenomenal. Yeah. And so Andrea is just like this amazing human being, this great kid. And he's just been a sponge ever since we got him at Eastern and then brought him here to UT Martin. Mm-hmm. And so for him in his junior year to start, seeing the rewards of all that hard work is just, it's really cool. It's really cool, especially for a guy like that. I'm just so happy for Andrea.
I had his mindset.
He also shoot that well. I mean, the shot selection was outstanding. He didn't force anything. I mean, he obviously can make shots, but he made smart decisions to get those shots.
Absolutely, and that speaks to who he is.
Yeah.
Like, if everyone could have his mentality on our roster, I don't know if we would ever lose a game. He buys into everything we do. He buys into everything we teach. And what's great about it, I say he buys into everything. Probably a month and a half ago, and this is like my guy, right? I love Andrea. I mean, came with me from Eastern. I love Andrea. Well, about a month and a half ago, I did not think he was doing exactly what he needed to be doing. I thought he kind of let up a little bit. He was people were telling him he's a pretty good player now. He started feeling it just a little bit. I brought him into the office one day, and I love Andrea. I said, listen, Andrea, I'm doing this out of love, but right now I'm going to tell you the truth. Right now, you're not in our top 12 players. Oh. He goes, Coach, what are you talking about? I'm like, you're not getting extra film sessions. You're not getting as much as you need to for the extra work, and this is only a couple-week deal, but a couple weeks is way too much for us. And I said, listen, I love you, Andre, but I'm not going to lie to you. You're not doing what you need to be doing. If we played today, you would not be in our 12. And, he was in tears. It bothered him. because I don't think he even realized he had let up just a little bit. I don't think he realized, that he took the foot off the gas for a second. Ever since that, woo, he has been unbelievable ever since then.
It's just a different animal.
Different, absolutely. Back to who he always has been, and it just, but it speaks again to his character that, he could slip just for a second. We call him out with the truth on it, and it bothered him. It bothered him into doing something about it.
Yeah, and compliments to you for recognizing it and to motivate him with love.
Yes.
Because that can go a lot of different ways. But again,
Absolutely.
With your relationship with him, he respected what you said and believed it, and it was true.
That's who he is. It's amazing. Yeah. So he is. It's amazing.
2-0 start through the year at the start of this season through 2 games. What are your thoughts on your group right now?
Well, I think we're 2-0. I told the guys, we're not 32-0. We're not 22-0. We're 2-0. We'll enjoy it for 24 hours. It's great. It's phenomenal. But I did remind them, listen, we were 2-0 last year.
Yeah.
Okay? We didn't know how to handle that last year. And we were younger, and that was a little bit, who knows? We didn't know what we didn't know. And we still don't know what we don't know. But I think our guys hopefully are a little more dialed in. And we know, listen, the next 2 games on our schedule, and I don't even care about the one following the next one because I just care about the Bradley game coming up. But we've got Bradley and Florida State both on the road in back-to-back games. Those are 2 of the top 100 teams in the country. Those are 2 big-time programs. We talked off air how Bradley operates like a high major financially and how they do things. Those aren't going to be easy games. And so I think, contrary to last year, I think our guys are coming into it understanding that. We're going to have to do everything right to have a chance at Bradley. And that's okay. And if we beat Bradley, we're still just 3-0.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that we haven't won an OVC or anything. And if we lose to Bradley, that's okay too. We still haven't played an OVC game. So
You 0-0 in conference.
0-0 in conference. And so I think we've got a better mindset on that. And don't get me wrong, we're excited. I'm so glad that the community's excited. Mm-hmm. It's a phenomenal thing. We need to find a combination of celebrate the team, celebrate the start, celebrate these guys who got the awards today, but also realize we celebrate because it's part of the journey. Why go through the journey if it's not fun?
Right.
Why go through the journey if it's only about wins and losses? Why go through the journey if you can't sit back and actually applaud Andrea for what he's done so far, but also be process oriented to say, hey, we gotta keep getting better.
I have to ask you because we're the same age. You love basketball and have your whole life.
I didn't know you were 32.
Yeah. UNLV. So when you were younger, watching Tarkanian and Larry Johnson and Plastic Man and Greg Anthony, here you are on that floor as a coach. What was that like?
It was very special, and it's funny. I had a different interview with I think it was Full Court Network this morning, and they actually brought up what is the one place you would just absolutely love to play at. And I started thinking about it. I was like, well, UNLV.
Yeah.
And actually, a year ago is University of Tennessee. That's why we picked these games. I grew up, obviously, a Tennessee fan. I grew up a UNLV basketball fan.
Okay.
I even lived in Southern California for a few years. I was just a big UNLV fan with, obviously, Stacey Augman, everything we talked about.
Yeah.
So to be on that court, and it's named Jerry Tarkanian Court, the history, we're in a practice facility for practice the 2 days before, and you see the national championship trophy, and you see everything. It was so special. Mm-hmm. We got this big crowd, in this 20,000-seat arena, and it was unbelievable.
Yeah, because you won, and you won.
And we found a way. It was awesome. I
run a great
we had 1-0 at the time, and we're 2-0, but still fun.
Yeah.
So that's why we do it.
It talked about community and how they have showed up and supported. How about the attendance the other night? Great for the home on a Sunday night, too, when it's pretty chilly outside. Still fans showed up and rooted on the Skyhawks to a big win.
That was amazing. And I didn't know how it would go. The Lady Vols played earlier, and it's a night game. Kids have school the next morning. My kids have school the next morning. And the community came out. It was a great crowd. It was awesome. But again, it showed. I was talking to Coach McMillan about this too. And it feels like it's just a reminder for both men's, women's side, football side, everything. Just there's real potential here.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
There are fans out there. There are people out there. We can get this thing rolling. We can get this crowd packed. We can make Elam an unbelievable. We can make it a Missouri Valley-like atmosphere. That's going to take work. It's going to take time. It takes wins. But, holy cow, between what the women had with their atmosphere and then to come back, 3 hours later and have the atmosphere we had, I mean, I'm so thankful to, Martin and I mean, just all the surrounding counties.
Had some high schools that were there, yeah.
Yeah, Union City was there, I think. I mean, Albion County, I mean, everything. Just it's cool. Like this, we need to make this again like West Tennessee's team. Not even just Martin's team, not even Northwest Tennessee's team.
Yeah.
Let's make this West Tennessee's
You know, like Kevin and I talked about it. COVID kind of decreased the crowds a little bit, and it's kind of an issue all over mid-major. But let's get it. Let's come back to where we were and how we can be.
Yeah, because how fun is that?
Yeah, get outside. Way out there.
Yeah. Ask
Yeah.
anyone. I hope people are here listening right now. Like, ask anyone who was there.
Yeah.
Like, it was fun.
Yeah.
We talked to people afterward.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to the stands afterward.
Yeah.
It was fun.
I mean, your team is good. Your team is talented. Your team is also very entertaining. I like that.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Hopefully people come to the games and see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely a fun group and a long road trip upcoming for you on with that Bradley trip, and then going to Florida State, and then also the Pensacola Invitational, that coming up here from the 22nd to the 23rd. Won't be back at home until November 25th. Those road trips really galvanize your group together, and when you spend a lot of time together, and coaches too, and being able to spend that time. What do you want from your group coming out of that road trip? What do you want to see from your team?
Well, first we just got to focus on the one, and then I'll worry about the rest on it. But it's the challenges of mid-major basketball. I mean, that's going to be a lot of time on the road, against some really good opponents. And I just want to see us, you talked about galvanize, I want to see us get more connected. I want to see us get better. I want to see us, play for each other even more. I want to see us have each other's back even more. And we're already a very connected group. I want to, we got to keep doing that. We've got to keep, we've got to keep working on that daily. So that's more than anything what I want to see. And I want to see, can we get better with our rotations defensively? Can we flood the offside on offensive rebounds? Can we really draw to make a pass? Can we, there's a lot of basketball stuff, but, first and foremost, can we become even more connected?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Coach, thank you so much for your time as always.
The time's up. I can talk 30 more.
We got Coach McMillan waiting too, and we'll talk.
We need to give him 30 minutes. There's no doubt about that with Kevin. So
we'll get him on next. Well, Coach, thanks so much for your time as always. Good luck coming up here this week.
Awesome, thank you.
We'll go ahead and take a break. Keep it right here, Skyhawk Sports Talk.
If I quit this season, I still be the greatest.
Skyhawk Sports Talk podcast is brought to you by Weekly Ford Nissan.
Welcome back to Skyhawk Sports Talk. Davis Gregory with Chris Brinkley. Now joining us, head coach of the UT Martin women's basketball team, Kevin McMillan, as the Skyhawks coming off a battle for 4 quarters against the 8th-ranked Tennessee Lady Volunteers in the Pat Summit Heritage game. Coach, sold-out crowd in that one, and your group really went out and competed against a nationally ranked opponent at home.
I thought that it depends how you want to look at it. Our kids played hard. They competed. And Tennessee kind of looked disinterested a little bit. But I don't quite understand that with the atmosphere. I get we're Tennessee, and we're having to come to Martin to play a game. Okay, you don't want to do that, fine. But then once you got there in the crowd, there's not an open seat in the place. I would have thought they would have really ramped it up. And either they didn't because they can't, or our kids were that good that weren't allowing them to do it. It doesn't matter to me, because even if they had ramped it up, our kids were competing no matter what. So, and I'm not going to take that away from our kids. They competed, they battled. Brittany handled the press. Yeah.
We had kids. Everybody was contributing and rebounding. They played 47 kids. We played 7. But it was a great fun for me to watch our team. The question we'll have going forward is, are we North Alabama or are we Tennessee? Which one are we going to be? And my fear is, being very, very, very young, is that we're going to flip-flop back and forth, and that's not good. But the crowd was great. I think the best thing for me was that, and I commend our UTM staff.
for how they handled Miss Betty. Because I had said to myself, I was working last week, and I just was sitting there, and I was going, okay, before they announce these starting lineups or coming out of halftime, I'm going to grab the microphone. And you know what that would have done to me. Number one, I would have had a heart attack. But I said, I'm going to say, okay, people, y'all have no idea why y'all are here. You have no idea of the history of Title IX in women's sports, and you don't understand what is in this room with you, and it's Miss Betty Giles. Yeah. And so the UTM folks did a wonderful job, and it was very, very sweet to give her that standing ovation and honor her with that, and for the stuff they did for Pat. It was a very, very well done event, and it was a very good college basketball game from our perspective, and I'm sure Tennessee's not very happy, but they're not supposed to be. So let me roll on Miss Betty for just a second. For people who don't realize, women's basketball is more popular now than it's ever been in the history of the sport, I think. Lady Giles is such a huge part of that as a trailblazer, a pioneer. You and I talked about it in the pregame. There have been books written on Title IX that feature articles about Betty Giles. She was here at UT Martin for years and years, and it's not just women's basketball; it's all women's sports. It's Title IX, and it's Olympics, everything.
Yeah,
the people, you take it for granted or you don't care, and either way, that's sad for me. And I've done this for a long time, and so maybe that's why I'm kind of getting this way. But I've always thought that you should honor the people that have come before you. Because we all think what we do, we all think it's hard, like where we are is hard. It's hard to coach today. It's hard to get these kids, Well, we ain't doing it like she did.
In the 70s and 60s.
They drove in station wagons and had sack lunches and slept on the gym floors.
Yeah.
Or in the locker rooms. We don't do that. And if kids today had to do that, oh my gosh, are you kidding? So I hope that our kids, at least, are respectful of Miss Betty. The only bad thing is we don't get to see her like we used to.
Yeah.
She used to be around a lot, and she just can't do it. But I texted her on the way over here and just thanked her again for coming, because that's hard. I feel like you're a little bit stubborn. I think you'd agree with that in a good way. No, when people told Betty Giles no, she said no is not an option. Well, they told me in the staff meeting that she wasn't coming. Alex, were you in there? They said, Miss Betty's not coming. And I went, are y'all sure? And they went, no, she's not coming. And I just kind of looked at, I don't remember if it was Trudy or something. I looked at them and I went,
she'll be here.
Miss Betty will be here. I was like, y'all cannot plan for it. But behind the scenes, I told Stacey Evans, I said, Stacey, if by chance that she's comes and she's not taken care of, we're going to take care of her. Not that wasn't like the people wouldn't take care of her, but if you didn't prepare for it, you might not have a parking space. Well, you find she can have mine. You might not be able to get her in there. We'll find some of my staff will stop what they're doing and they'll go get her. We were just kind of behind the scenes prepared, but we didn't have to be, because she said, I'm coming. So, anyway, yes, I said yes, ma'am, to Miss Betty all the time. So.
No, but what a great moment, though. I mean, that has been the one thing that stuck out to me, and the video, I mean, displayed it too and talked about with the interview with her. But I mean, for someone like me, it was good to learn too, because my generation doesn't know anything about whatever she did, and then the younger days with women's athletics. So I mean, that's probably the moment that sticks out to me the most. I'm glad we were able to do that. That was pretty awesome, and then just for all the athletes there too. That was pretty cool.
A lot of Pat's teammates were there.
Yeah, that was great.
I wish they'd come to the locker room. I didn't know all of that, but I wish they had come to the locker room and said something to the girls. And then we had a lot of players that were there. Heather Butler was there. Paige Pipkin was there. And then Brianna Pitcher sang the national anthem.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. And she was a GA for us. Katie was there, another GA. So there was a lot of people that came back to watch the game, and And I'll be honest, I did not expect, just like I did at North Alabama, we played terrible. Let me say that again. Our offense was horrible, and I'm the offensive coach, if you're wondering. and I'm not joking. Like, it was terrible. If you watch the game, I owe you a dinner because it was hard to watch. Alex, am I sugarcoating it? I'm not. It's not the girls' fault. It's not my staff's fault. It is my fault. It was bad. From that game to Tennessee, we worked on it, and it was light years better. And I don't mean just that the shots went in. We actually were moving. There was some space on the floor to work with. So it was better. It wasn't good. Our offense wasn't good, but it was so much better than it was. But the effort at North Alabama was really good. Like, the kids played hard, and it was shocking because I hadn't seen it in practice. Well, we saw it again against Tennessee, the same effort, and it was pretty much whoever was out there played really, really hard. And, if they can do that, we have a chance. But I am so scared to start working on us being a good basketball team because of the last two of the last three, or maybe three of the last four, I've taken my eyes off of effort to help them be good, and we've crashed. And you can't do it. You got to keep them playing hard. You got to keep them playing hard. So the effort's the foundation. It is, and sometimes you think your foundation is there. We thought last year our foundation was there. It wasn't. 2 years ago we didn't think we had a foundation, and we did. 3 years ago we didn't. So, and for different reasons. But I'm hoping this bunch is going to gravitate towards. We enjoy playing hard. We enjoy doing whatever. I don't know, but that was a tough situation to put them in to try to battle. However many All-Americans.
I mean, you look at the back of their sheet; it's McDonald's, All-Americans all over the place.
Yeah, and it is what it is, and I don't know. I get irritated at stuff now as I get older and stubborn. I wouldn't call me stubborn, headstrong, and whatever. But it's human nature. It's human nature to be enamored that Tennessee's here. The game sold out. That irritated me. That the game sold out. Why hadn't we sold out more games? We put the same product on the floor all the time. So. But the people around here want to come watch. They want to come watch the Lady Vols. Okay, that's fine. I get it. But the reason that basketball is such a big deal and the NCAA is such a big deal is because of the money that March Madness creates. And do we know why March Madness creates all that money? Well, it's because of the upsets. It's not because of the Final Four being 4 number 1 seeds. So it's a Tennessee home game yesterday. Is that fair? Okay. And that's fine. And I don't have any problems with it. But once it got interesting, which would have been midway second quarter, like first quarter, okay. All right, you got lucky, whatever. Second quarter, when it got interesting, why would it not flip? When we scored, it sounded like a golf clap. And I'm like going, no, you people are from this area. I know you're enamored with Tennessee. I get it. But it was just disappointing that there wasn't a flip, that it's like, do you even understand what's going on out here? But I get it. It's just human nature. We just do it. The referees do it. Davis, you probably did it. You get enamored. Oh, it's the Lady Vols, and now not a slap, but you're young, and it would be easy to fall into that trap. Oh, Tennessee's here. See, I flipped the other direction. I'm like going, why haven't they been here before? So there's 18 All-Americans out there, and they're up 1. There's 18 of them, and they're down 2. Oh, my gosh. But that's not what we do. That's not as human beings. Oh, the late evolved. See, the way that I'm talking is what everybody did, is what we were supposed to do. That we were supposed to be enamored with them. Well, we weren't.
Right.
And you know what? The lady Vols didn't like that.
Right.
Did you see the mouthing that was going on out there? Did you see our players that got bumped as they were going? They were going to the huddles for timeouts, and our players got bumped by theirs. What that's saying is, you better know where your place is. Well, see, that's where I flip around. I'm going, you're going to act like that? Wait a minute, you're all Americans, and you're going to act like that? You're number 9 ranked team in the country, and you're playing an unranked team, and you have to act like you're going to bully them. Oh, so you can't go out here and compete and beat them, so let's just bully them. Oh, okay. And what I loved about it was our kids just looked at them like, really? That's the best you got?
It gave him the Nora look.
Yeah,
we talked about the Nora look.
And but again, that is when I would have hoped the Davises, the referees, the middle of the road fans would have said, this thing, let's make this thing interesting. And I told Ryan over just a minute ago, gosh, if we could have made just a couple layups, and that game is like a possession game in the last few minutes, I'm telling you, they would have imploded. We might not have won, but they weren't going to just rip us at that point, because they were at that point of being able to implode, and they didn't do it. Because we didn't put that kind of pressure on them. I don't know. It's disappointing when it's your home game and you're outnumbered probably 4-1. And I don't think this is an exaggeration. I was going to say I don't think we won over any fans. That's not true, because I had some people come up to me after the game. But I don't think we'll get our numbers back to where they were pre-COVID.
Yeah.
And it's like, what product do you want us to put out on the floor? Like, what if you paid your money to come to that game, you got your money's worth out of that college basketball game. So if you had paid that money and we got beat 115-12, you would have been happier. So, but my point is, those kids deserve.
Oh yeah.
The way they played, they deserve the respect from fill in the blanks. And I don't know. It's kind of like the Miss Betty stuff. I don't know that people really grasp what goes on. Do they really grasp? Did they grasp that Tennessee came in 2 buses? No.
I never knew.
What do you need 2 buses for?
Yeah.
You know, and again, look, if we had 6 buses, we'd take them too. The budgets, and we're supposed to compete on a level playing field. You know, what they ought to do is they ought to figure out a way to handicap it, like
They do
golf.
bowling and golf, yeah.
Yeah, and say, okay, your budget is $12 million. So you're going to play a team that's got a budget of $500,000. So you have a 30-point deficit before the game starts.
Yeah.
Because that's what it should be.
You would go undefeated.
And for every All-American you have, that's 5 more points you lose.
Yeah.
Now let's play. Anyway, I don't know. My disappointment, I'm holding on to it for right now, because I'm not going to be disappointed until, and we'll see. Yeah. But I just, I would hope that we were not enamored. But again, it's just human nature. You dangle some lights in front of a kid, and they're going to, oh, wow, look, it's Tennessee. Well, Yeah, who cares? I would say I can't imagine anybody
Sorry, I'm back now.
walking. Went away for I'm back now. I can't.
Back now.
Anybody walking out of there not having respect for you and the coaching staff and the entire team.
I'm not asking for that.
You don't want respect. You want
I
support.
could care less.
About
I
respect.
don't care if they like me or respect me or whatever.
Yeah.
But you can't not respect those kids for what they were.
And then, yes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care. I don't. I mean, if I get on your nerves, great. I'm sorry. I get on your nerves. That's fine. But those kids, when you see people that give everything they've got and push it, what our fans were pre-COVID, they didn't care if we won or we lost. We talked about this post game, and that what that did though is it helped our program. Because it kind of taught our girls how we're supposed to play. You're supposed to play this game a certain way. And we don't care if you win, we don't care if you lose. You're going to play it a certain way. But what our fans knew, and because West Tennessee fans are extremely intelligent basketball fans, what they knew was you do it the way you're supposed to, you're going to win. The championships are coming. And they did.
Yeah.
And they rolled in. I don't know, maybe our intelligent fans are just not there anymore. Maybe we need to Instagram it or something, or put it on Twitter or something like that. I don't know.
We get more shares on it.
I guess. I don't know.
Hey, well, getting to some individual performances here, Coach. We'll start out with Grace Billington, transfer from Murray State. Huge game off the bench with 20 points and then 4 made threes, 8 rebounds, and thought she played well defensively too.
Yeah, Grace is capable of doing that, and I think the question will be for Grace is can she figure out how to do that? Just like the rest of the team, can she figure out how to do that every day? She wants to do it. Grace is really trying to be that kind of player every single day. She's a great kid, and I think as she does kind of figure it out, that was a heck of a performance on her part off the bench. Yeah. But the best part about her was her 8 rebounds and the way she was defending. I told her before the game, I said, Grace, there is not a kid on that floor that is stronger than you are. I don't care who they put out there. I don't care. They've got the best athletes in the world over there. They are not stronger than you. And so use it.
Yeah, and she did.
Use it. And she did. A couple of times she drove hard, and they had to, because she was being ridden all the way down there, and she just went. And she can shoot it. But she had a performance that I hope she's going to take and go, I want to build on this and do more. But she was really, really good yesterday. She was really good.
You talked about Brittany already breaking the press and things that she did well, but one of your other guards, a true freshman, Sydney Middleton, 6 assists and 6 rebounds to go along with 7 points. How did you see her performance from the sideline?
It depends. If I rate her as a freshman, first time in those lights, with that kind of pressure, with us putting that kind of responsibility on her to her, she gets an A. If she's the guard that I need her to be, she's probably a C- or a D. And I hope if she hears that, she knows what I'm talking about. She can be an A player in that game. She's got that kind of ability. She's smart. She did some really good things, but then she also did some freshman things that the ball got stuck with her. But when we needed her to make a few plays, she made some. And what that's telling us for the future is, as she learns and grows and gets better, she can be really good. It was hilarious. One time they were about to trap her, and I just started shaking my head going, Sydney, that was not smart. And she did something. It was right in front of you, right where y'all were. She was about to get trapped, and I don't know what she did, but she did some kind of something with the ball, and next thing you know, she's going down the sideline, and they're both behind her.
Yeah.
And I'm going, what did she just do? Because she's not quicker, she's not faster, she's not stronger, but she is so crafty and shifty that and it's almost like you look at her and you don't think, it's like, okay, she can't do this stuff, and next thing you know, she does.
She reminds me a little, and I may be way off because I haven't seen her play much, of Kendall Cavan potential. You coached her at Westview.
Kendall's athletic now.
Yeah.
Kendall was athletic. Sydney doesn't have an athletic bone in her body. I mean, she is, bless her heart, she and Kinley McCarn and Kevin McMillan, we're all Arkansas people, and we're not sorry. We try really, really hard. That's Arkansas for you. We're going to give you everything we got.
I guess it's the tenacity that I recognize.
Well, we're all pretty tenacious. Arkansas people are pretty tenacious. But Sydney really, what I like watching Sydney with right now, and where I do give her an A, is the kid just does not. She won't back down.
But that
she will not. So you're to your tenacity point, and it's so fun to have kids out there that are just not going to back down. And I'm trying not to down last year's team, but adversity has hit this year's team in multiple games, and we do not hang our head. We do not whine about things. We don't pout. It doesn't go south. We may miss a shot, but our effort does not drop. And that is so different from what we saw a year ago, where you would be looking at us going, oh, wow. And then 2 minutes later, you're going, oh, wow. And most of that was centered around your effort. And it's great that Sydney has come in as a freshman and kind of gravitated towards that. But I think that's a lot of her upbringing, too. Her dad's a coach. But she's fun to watch. She is fun to watch. And I'm critical of her, but she is a fun,
very high ceiling. I think this team has an extremely high ceiling.
Yeah.
And as you look now, Sunday's contest against Fisk, how are you all building up and getting ready for that next matchup coming up here?
Well, we've got to get the bruises from the Tennessee game out of the way. Grace showed me underneath her arm. She's got a bruise about the size of my hand, just underneath here. 3 of the guards today we practiced, but it wasn't anything. They're really sore, just from getting beat up. So I guess the number one thing is that we've got to get them healthy and get them fresh and get them rested. And Kinley. You never know with Kinley. She does a great job taking care of her body, but she's getting older, so she's got to handle it a certain way. Brittany's a little bit younger, but she's got it in a certain way. Sydney's younger than that, but she's also pretty smart. A lot of time freshmen don't realize that you got to take care of your body. You don't think like that. So if we can get them fresh and rested and ready to go. Fisk will be a good game to follow up Tennessee and North Alabama before we hit the road again. We're trying a little different schedule this year. We're going to see how it goes. It's different from what I've done, but my staff thought that this was the way we needed to do stuff, so I let them do it. But we'll see if our kids can bounce back from that game and figure out what kind of team we're going to be going forward. Doesn't matter who you play. So I don't know. It's kind of a to be continued. Like that was, the episode is over. The Tennessee game's over, and now it's to be continued.
Yep, there we go. Well, Coach, thanks so much for your time, as always, and we'll see you on Sunday.
All right, thanks.
If I quit this season, I still be the greatest.
Skyhawk Sports Talk Podcast is brought to you by Weekly Ford Nissan.
Welcome back here to Skyhawk Sports Talk. Davis Gregory with Chris Brinkley, now joining us, a freshman from River Falls, Wisconsin, volleyball student athlete. Ava Peters joins us now at the Level Up Arcade Bar, Woodfire Pizza Kitchen. Ava, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
A freshman, all right, this is low-hanging fruit, easy question. What's your favorite thing about UT Martin right now?
Honestly, there is so much. I would honestly say, though, that my favorite thing is probably just like the atmosphere of athletics. I feel like we're all like so supportive of like teams. Even just hearing about like the basketball yesterday was just like such a crazy intense game. And And I love that students are able to support each other through everything. Athletics can be a hard and busy time, but I feel like there's like so many resources for us to all like get together no matter what sport it is.
Yeah, I mean, it has been so awesome to see you all in soccer games, and then in football, and then, in softballs everywhere, soccer too. So commend you all for that. That is awesome to see you all go out and support each other. That's got to be fun whenever you see people in the stands, they've got signs up, and you're like, all right, yeah, like gives you an extra energy boost, doesn't it?
Yep.
Did you play other sports?
I mean, I feel like when I was younger, my parents kind of like put me in everything just to kind of like see where I was at. And I played soccer for a really long time growing up, but then once I got to high school, as club volleyball kind of got busier, I like steered away pretty much from all their sports. I did run track 1 year in high school.
Nice.
That was pretty much it.
Did you like the running of soccer, or were you like, nah, I don't need to do it?
I actually did enjoy soccer. I actually do kind of regret that about high school, that I never really like stuck with another sport beyond volleyball, but yeah, I guess it just was never in the cards for me.
Yeah, well, it's kind of neat though, because volleyball is kind of a small area and it's kind of crowded. Soccer's just huge.
Yeah.
You're all so I'm sure you learned from one that helped you in the other.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so fifth in the OVC in assists this year, 708.
Wow,
Six.
yeah, that's a lot.
OVC Center of the Week one time, Freshman of the Week one time. What's this first year been like for you here in Martin?
It's definitely been a lot, not just like volleyball wise, but also just school wise and just being away from home. I feel like there's a lot to figure out, but I feel like I'm adjusting really well, and I love getting to know like the town of Martin, and I love just like meeting new people. Everybody has been so nice, and I'm just really happy to be here.
How does Martin compare to River Falls?
A lot of people actually ask me this, and I'm not even gonna lie, I feel like they're very similar. Like it's very that kind of like small town, but with a lot of character, and I think that that's something that I really liked about Martin when I toured here. Was it reminded me a lot of home, and that was like a feeling I feel like you don't find anywhere really else.
The River Falls sounds like a Netflix TV show, like the setting for. What's it like?
The very small town, but everybody knows everybody, and I feel like again, like Martin, like there's stuff I feel like going on like every weekend. Only one high school, pretty much like 2 middle schools again, like very small town, but love it there.
Anybody knows everybody.
Yep.
There a river and falls?
Yep.
Okay. Have you been to the River and Falls?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Well, that's goal accomplished. I feel like you complete the tourist guide. You got everything.
A little small town restaurant that people eat at.
I would say there's a few.
Okay.
But I would I'm trying to think what I would say. I would probably say, gosh, I'm trying to think of the name. I don't know why I'm blanking on this.
That's okay. You can just describe it. Good burger.
Yeah, good like burger. Kind of like your good burger place. Yeah, I don't know why I'm blanking on the name of it.
No, it's good. I mean, do you all have the Mexican restaurants that everyone goes to after church on Sunday?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Just had to make sure that is a trademark of a small town. Is it's some of the memes you see on Instagram where it's just like, oh yeah, what do you do after Sunday after church, and it's just a bowl of chips and salsa.
Yeah, but you know why people choose that after church is they're hungry and it's instant gratification, because the moment you sit down at the table you have food.
Chips.
Yeah,
right there.
Now,
I wish the queso was free.
Yeah. Oh, I do too.
Yeah. We should make queso free. We should do something. You should open up a restaurant, a ice cream restaurant.
Okay.
And then have queso.
do you cook?
Ooh.
No.
No. Okay.
No, not for
Do
me.
your roommates cook?
No. Not our strong.
Are y'all starving? What do you do for food?
We just buy it from Walmart, buy it from the calf, whatever.
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A comes in handy.
That is true. Air fryer, crock pot, anything?
Yep.
Okay, what's the best thing that goes in the crock pot or the air fryer, whatever y'all use?
Probably the air fryer. Chicken, I would say that's the most.
Yeah, okay.
That's the most basic.
It's hard to mess up chicken in
Yeah,
there.
it is.
Yeah.
Even I can do that.
It's the air fryer. So we had our cross country coach was telling us about. We asked him air fryer crock pot. He said George Foreman grill.
Have you seen the George Foreman grill?
Oh.
It's kind of like it's just a little grill over the top.
Flip grill.
Yeah, and
There's a top and a bottom.
Yeah.
I've never heard of
And you
it.
can just press down and Everything's done just like that.
Yeah, I mean, I've never heard of that, but I bet if I asked my dad, he would.
Yeah, you never know. You never know. Shout out to that.
Yeah, shout out.
Yeah, Mr. Peters. Shout out to Mr. Peters. So, is there a best chef on the team? I feel like we have to exclude Riley Rushing because she actually, is
Yep.
a very good chef.
All that can really come to mind is if ever I don't really consider this a chef maybe, but whenever my bananas get old, I give them to Kylie because she loves to make banana bread.
I don't really.
That's kind of a deep
Yeah.
banana bread, yeah.
Yeah.
I hate old bananas, but you're right. Banana bread's perfect.
She always makes banana bread.
Yeah.
That is awesome. That is awesome.
I have a question. Can anyone on the team sing? I set you up.
That was a good lead right there, Chris. That was good. So, Ava, for those that weren't there, you two marked playing volleyball this past weekend. Saturday was a 10 a.m. start for the Skyhawks, and there was a national anthem sang by Ava.
Yeah.
Who sang our national anthem. How did that come about?
Well, it had kind of been just this ongoing thing, pretty much since the beginning of the year. I remember it first came up way back in August when it was Kyler's birthday, and somebody had mentioned that there was this deal that if you had a home game on your birthday, that you had to sing the national anthem.
Oh, that's great.
And so we were looking at the schedule, and I had kind of talked to Kayla about it, and I said, "Oh, well, I have a birthday at home in November," and she said, "Oh, I do too." And so her birthday is this weekend, and so we had just talked about, obviously for the longest time, that we were gonna sing the national anthem. And originally, I had planned to sing it. I don't know if you guys know this, but how Fergie sang.
Oh, the Al Star.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had originally planned to sing it like that, but I thought, you know what? Maybe not. If people don't get what this is, I feel like they're going to really not get what's going on. And so I really just sang it normally. And Jacqueline and Julia called me into their office morning of, and they were like, "You don't have to do this if you don't want to," because I was starting to get a little nervous about it. But I was like, you know what? I told people I would do it. I have to do it, and so I did.
Had you performed it in front of a crowd before?
No.
Never, really?
No.
Wow.
No, I mean, I had practiced the Fergie version, and I was really good and confident, ready to go on that one. But the actual, singing it serious.
Have you performed in front of a crowd singing before?
No.
Really?
I mean, I did when I was 8, I think, with my sister and my cousin at my Nana's wedding.
Oh, what's a wedding song or something? A love song?
Going to the chapel.
Yeah. Okay. Oh.
But again, that was so long
That's
ago.
very brave of you, though. Now, the national anthem is one of the most difficult songs to sing. Yeah. And for you to agree to do it before an event in front of people, I'm impressed.
Yeah.
And to do a great job.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got a video of it, so Mac's going to play it right now.
For the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Your reception afterwards, I mean, everybody loved it. They went crazy. What was that? I mean, after you sing it, you're like, oh my gosh, everyone's going nuts. What was going through your mind?
Well, okay, I was really mad at myself afterwards because I forgot the words. I messed up the lyrics, and I was so mad at myself. But immediately when I was done, I honestly just felt this adrenaline because I had Kristen coming running at me, and everybody was just so cheerful and hyping me up, and it was a lot of fun. But I don't regret doing it because I think that it set a really good tone off for the game. We were all happy. We were eating food, and I think we were ready to go after that. Only warm-up I needed.
Yeah. Will it happen again ever?
Yes.
If I have another birthday on a game day,
then we'll have to do it. Well, happy late birthday.
Thank you.
So your family was in town. Have they been in town since you've been here at UT Martin?
Yes, they've been in town a few times. They're pretty good about coming, considering how far they live.
Do you feel like you play better when your family's there or when they're not there?
Definitely when they're there. I feel like I just kind of have a mindset, if they came all this way, They gotta get their mud served.
We got to get like 40 assists, and you're just serving them up.
How long's the drive? Was it a drive or they fly?
They've driven every time so far. It's about a 12-hour drive.
Yeah, that's good.
Yep.
All right, last one for you. Your favorite thing to do off the court? What's something that you and your roommates do? A game that you play? What's your favorite thing to do off the court? Chris and I can stall for a second while you think.
Yeah, maybe stall.
Okay.
Yeah, well, you know my mind is.
I am starving.
Are you? Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
You know, we sit here and we host this show and we just smell pizza for hours.
I want to give a big shout out though to all the waiters, waitresses. Everyone is doing a great job. They're killing it up here and doing a great job. The bar too. Everybody is phenomenal. They're great. They do a great job.
And it smells great. We just haven't had a chance to eat yet. Okay.
I would say my favorite thing to do, something that I've been really getting into recently, is going to church here. And I think that was kind of something that was hard for me to start because just like I never was really that good about going to church at home. I think that was something I definitely took for granted. And I would always kind of like, sometimes if like my older sister was in town, I would kind of like go with her, but I never really like actually got into it here until recently. Kayla on my team, she just got baptized, and so she was a big reason why I started going again because I really had a reason to go for her. But I really enjoy it. I'm glad I go. So
that's wonderful. That's fantastic. Yes, but being a part of the community and getting it, you've already started well, Ava. It's only up from here. Yeah. Here we go. Well, thank you so much, Ava, for joining us. Good luck here this weekend against Tennessee State, and we'll see you here soon.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much for joining us. We're going to take a break. Keep it right here on Skyhawk Sports Talk.
If I quit this season, I still be the greatest.
Skyhawk Sports Talk Podcast is brought to you by Weekly Ford Nissan.
Welcome back to Skyhawk Sports Talk. Davis Gregory with Chris Brinkley. Now joining us, head coach of the UT Martin football team, Jason Simpson, as the Skyhawks dominate the ground game in a 26-7 win over Tennessee State. They extend their winning streak to 4. They've now won 5 of their last 6 games. Started 1-5, now 5-5 overall, and 5-1 in conference play. Coach, thanks so much for joining us.
We'll get to that in a minute.
Here we go.
Alex, I've been blessed to be a part of a lot of first here at UT Martin, right? First 06, the first conference championship. I think one year was the first time we'd ever won at Eastern Illinois on the road, right? First time the second round of the playoffs. Right.
First one to EKU. First Sergeant York trophy.
Sergeant York. The first time we beat an FBS, right? Beat Memphis, right? And I'm proud of all those. But I'm not sure I'm any more proud than what I saw in that locker room after the game. That was big time. That was awesome. Dude, that ranks right up there with Memphis. Yes, it does.
Wow.
The energy, the excitement.
Yeah.
All right, a couple things. One, I'm very impressed. You've been in the gym.
Oh, thank you.
When you took that shirt off, I was like, wait a minute now. And look, abs, muscles. Right. I was impressed with that, too. The genuine energy that came out. And even some of the players were like, I didn't know he's old enough to have armpit hair. They were fired up. They thought you were a little bit mature for a 13-year-old, but it was awesome, man. I appreciate that. You did a great job with it, so thank you.
Okay, first of all, thank you for letting me in.
Absolutely.
Well, this has been an ongoing thing about you set up the Western Illinois game to come in there. Well, Kyle asked you on the Zoom, did Davis go in there after Gardner-Webb? But we said the next home game.
Okay.
And I remember in that Zoom you'd said, I think he needs to come in and take his shirt off. And I told you that Thursday. I said, if we win, I'm going in there taking my shirt off.
Hey, no hesitation, Alex.
That's right.
Look, I was afraid he was going to be standing there like this. No, he ripped it off. Guys are throwing him around. He was into it. It was very manly. So fired up about that. There was no. Yeah. I was afraid we were going to have to call you Coaster Boy after the last classic segment. I kind of took that out of my mind, right? There's no doubt. I'm in. I like excited Davis. I'm fired up.
I got to tell you, so he told me beforehand because he really wasn't on our post game because he was in your locker room. And I said, why are you not going to be on the post game? And he told me, and I said, are you sure? Loud one, right? But he was committed, and he said, Coach Simpson asked me to do it. I'm going to do it. And he committed.
150. He was in. No, that's there. You know, he wasn't. He didn't just care about it. It was a calling.
Yes, that's right.
He was committed to it. And his pickle buddy Josiah, he was with him. He lifted him up. So, all right, a great win.
Yeah.
Locker room, you made it outstanding. So
thank you.
I loved it.
Well, listen, if you think that something like that's going to help the team win games, you say jump.
We can't stop now.
You say jump, I'll go.
Can't stop now.
One other note, we saw Dr. Dunnigan, the former chancellor, Nick Dunnigan, and he came by and he goes, "Chris, I saw your interview with Ty from 2000, whatever," and he goes, "But Dovis's video is better."
There were so many people who came out of. Yeah, I told people before that video. I think the only people that have ever seen my shirt off are probably my doctor and my mom. And
well, now the work.
Now it's like 32,000 views.
When your broadcasting career's over, I'm thinking WWE.
You know what? You might get some male model inquiries. Now, I'm telling you, that student rapes pass has been paying off. And then there, happy to learn. All right.
You know, I was hoping someone was going to join in with me, though, but I think everyone was just shocked that I did it. You know, I was hoping Toby might, come out of the road.
But Toby can't. They really are. Like I said, they. You're still a skill guy at heart. Okay, I know it's true. You're not one of the big uglies, right? You're not in the trench mob and stuff. So that's a little different animal there.
Yeah, it is.
There's kickers, and then there's you, and then there's the line behind those kickers. Well, they're good guys. They're good guys. Have them. Kate's had a great.
I love Kate. Kate is great. I love Jared. Hayden, Longstaff. I love those guys. They're great.
And they appreciate your company, and you're right there with them.
A kitcher from down under. We love it. Well, no, fired up. It was awesome. I mean, it was. Oh my gosh! Thank you to everybody for letting me in, and for all the for Coach. Everybody let me in. Coach, it was awesome.
Is that the first time you've been in there?
Yeah.
We're still in the videos.
Oh, yeah.
Now, like I said, there's other ones that there's a lot more juice, okay? And you actually help the juice, okay? And what I mean by that is we expected to win. And don't get me wrong, but it's humble, the swagger every week. But, like I'm trying to think of some different wins we've had this year where it was,
the
SEMO, the Gardner-Webb. I mean, anytime, that we're the underdog maybe, okay, there's always a little bit more volume, that comes with it. But it was still good. But good day. I'm very proud talking about the game, right?
Yeah.
Defensively you start where, you dominate the run game, minus 12 yards rushing. We were giving them the quick little outs. That's fine. Where you complete 12 of those, before you can flip the field. And besides that, I think we gave up one play for 23 yards. Okay. I think we had 5 3-and-outs. Okay, so very proud. Appreciate Coach Partridge and Coach Griffin and TJ and Cliff and those defensive guys. Did you see the stat where we had the ball, and this is a team deal. This isn't just offense, okay, because we had 3-and-outs in the first quarter. I think we had the ball over 12 and a half minutes in the first quarter.
Yeah. Now, Utah, he had possession. I know it was the goal going into the game, but could you have ever imagined what you pulled off there?
Well, there's it's twofold deal, though, okay? We only scored 7 points, and we had the ball 12 and a half minutes, okay? I think it was 12:54, okay, in a 15-minute quarter. Because we got stopped on a 4th and 1, okay, or 4th and inches actually, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. I can't remember. It's getting 4th down. We got stopped, but once again, we didn't. You can't say we didn't have any big plays because we did have a few big runs, but the big runs didn't come till later on, okay. But that's just our formula. Right now, that's just our formula this past week. It may have to be different this week. So, we knew we'd be able to run the ball against them. They had struggled against the run. They had some good pass rushers, and they sacked us early. So once I saw how the defense was playing, I was like, forget this. Let's just run the ball and get out of here with a win. And even you were in the locker room. You heard I told the receivers, right, hey, I appreciate you, okay? Sorry we didn't throw the ball, but 5 times, 8 times, 14 times, whatever it was, Okay, but that's what we needed to do today.
Yeah.
And, to get the win and to move on to this week.
And I know for you being the offensive coordinator for those guys, we want to get this ball going through there, but when it's on the ground and it's working so well, you got to keep pounding that rock.
Well, like I said, it was man coverage. The problem is, number 7's a pretty good player. I think he's got 6-7 sacks. I guess he had 1 or 2, in this game. So, and Bowser was a little bit hurt, and Hap went out. Okay, even though Mitch played great. Okay, but pass rush protection is we need to do better. So, unless you're just going to throw a fade route to an outside receiver, you're really not you can't hold it long enough unless you're a great pass protecting team to get to different route combinations deeper down the field. Mm-hmm. So, and we had a lot higher percentage to hand the ball off and get 7 yards than we did completing a fade for 14 yards. So that's why we were able to stay with it. Yeah, our defense allowed us that opportunity as well.
Right.
They were giving up the scores.
Right.
Yeah, outgained them in the running game, 292 to -12. And in that first quarter, you had over 100 rushing yards.
And it was really 336 or with minus the sacks.
Yeah.
Okay. If you saw the first 39 plays, they played exactly like Kevin Bannon and Danny and all of our staff, Nick Cochran and Nate Stout and Von Craig. They do a great job with our game planning. All right. And so the first, 39 snaps, they are lining up in a couple different things, but exactly how we had planned it. We just had a large menu of all these different runs we were getting to. I don't know if you saw it. Like, we were reading the defensive end one play. We'd read the down lineman the next play. The next play, we'd read the linebacker, and that's where Jace was inserting and running the ball. So they didn't really have Hanson for that. Mm-hmm. So then right before half, they went to a bear front, 2 5s, 2 3s, and a nose, one backer in the box, and played man coverage. Try and change it up. It slowed us down a little bit, but we were still able to hit some bigger runs later on, but not as consistently as we were doing versus the 4-man front.
Yeah, 2 100-yard rushers. First time since 2022. Tommy leads the way, 118 yards on 17 carries. And Chris Franklin, 18 carries on 111 yards and a touchdown, and had the big 51-yarder where once he broke through, and they were expecting run on that play, he just took off and never stopped running.
No, 2 things. One, I'm proud. That's 2 weeks in a row. Chris has been consistent for us and looked like one of the better players on the field. And we think he should be able to do that. Tommy, the consistency, really proud of him. The physicality of how he runs, it matters to him. He's just getting better every week. The player of the week was Mitch at left tackle, 6-year guy, hadn't been starting. He got called upon. He went in and played really well, played really physical. That was a joy today to name him Offensive Player of the Week. Mitch started when he was a true freshman. Okay, now we were kind of down on offensive line, had some guys hurt and stuff, and over the years we've had some other guys he's had to compete with, but I just want what a great teammate he is. He's a Skyhawk through and through. I really appreciate him. It makes my day better, him being in the building.
Yeah, you talked about the depth there and mentioned Jalen Elijah going out. What about Mitch and then Mike Moman and Preston Barber stepping up there on that offensive line and never missed a beat, continue to control the line?
Mike Moman transferred in here. He's a great kid. He's played his role and done his job on the team, practices hard, but Bowser's a really good player. So Bowser was banged up all week, so Mike got to go in, and he actually was the second puller on that counter, one of those big counters that got out. So, man, really appreciate them. Delapo's getting better at the right guard. Eric Crouch has been out again and looks like he'll be out the rest of the season. It's really neat. You ought to come to practice one day when it's not 30 degrees and you're out there, but Josiah does. He's like a coach on the field. He takes care of Delapo, gets him to where he's got to go. Just really appreciate him and coming back for a 6 year. He could have graduated. He already graduated. He could have gone on and left with Vance. The center. They were really good friends and stuff. So, you know what? I'd love to win for a lot of reasons this week and have an opportunity to win a conference championship the next week. But I'd love to see Josiah, have an opportunity to do that. One of the things we talked about, he's been a part of 6 wins versus Tennessee State. He's never lost to them. He's never lost to EIU.
Wow.
So those are a lot of cool things for those kids that stay with us for 5 and 6
Well,
years.
you say he's like a coach on the field, and that's helping you, but it's also helping teammates.
Oh, yeah.
How many of those guys do you need on a team each year? Like, what's the most you've ever had during a season, and what's the luxury as a coach to have that?
Well, offensive line-wise, it usually always have one. If you don't have one, then you're probably not very good.
Yeah.
Okay, and it helps when it's your center, right? Because he can help this half of the line and that half of the line, being in the middle. Bryce. Bryce is kind of like that at the receiver spot. He does a good job mentally and gets mad when he's wrong about something in a good way, right? Because he takes a lot of pride in knowing every position and trying to keep Faison and Scotty, on point and stuff. And then Jace does, is a smart cerebral. Him and Julius back there at quarterback. So, I would tell you the two that direct a lot of guys are Desai and Bryce on offense.
That's a crazy question, but do you ever have a person who wants to be a coach on the field and really isn't capable yet?
Well, you can't fake that. And what I mean by that is because if you don't know it, your teammates look at you and say, you were wrong, so I can't listen to you anymore. Yeah. So it kind of happens organically.
Yeah.
Now, you have some guys that may be encouragers or energy guys and stuff, and that's fine. You need those guys too. But as far as a coach of the scheme and stuff, you have to be playing because – if you're not in there, you can't really help us. I mean, you help us in the meeting room and stuff. So it kind of happens organically.
Yeah, good point. And then once you positively do it, your teammates respect you, and it continues to.
Oh yeah. Well,
to elevate.
I read this one time, and I use it all the time. Right. Part of being a leader is people only follow you when they realize what you can do for them.
Yeah,
and that be emotionally,
that's right,
mentally, whatever. But if this person helps make me better, I want to follow this guy. And so when Josiah says, "No, it's that linebacker, not this linebacker," right? Well, I get to, Coach Bannon doesn't yell at me. I get to stay on the field. We have success.
Yeah.
Whatever Josiah says, that's. I trust him. He's not going to pull me.
I recently read the person with the most certainty in the room has the most influence.
Yeah.
Well, to have the certainty, the other people have to believe you have that certainty. Not just you. Not just you.
Good way to say it.
Yeah, and on defense there in that ground game and just overall, Toby Campen nose tackle with 2 tackles for a loss. Tom McBride-Band and Keyshawn Johnson, they get sacks too. And Toby with that signature celebration that he's breaking out with.
I have really, I've really loved watching Toby play. And I love Smiley, right, when he was here last year, okay? But I don't know that another player has stepped into a role and made a bigger impact in one season than Toby has. I
praise.
That's what I have to say about him. And he doesn't ask for pats on the back from me, or he works. It matters to him. Coach Griffin has done a great job with him at the D-line spot, and he makes my day better because of I want to make sure that I coach at a high enough level, or my coaches are coaching at a high enough level to meet Toby's commitment to the team.
How about that? Yeah.
And I hope one day that coaches that coach my personal sons say that as well, but because it matters to him. Win, lose, or draw, he will empty his tank out of whatever he's got.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah, it is awesome to see. Held them to 153 total yards of offense. Toby, a big part of that. And then Jamichael McGoy, now the new all-time leader in passes defended at UT Martin, eclipsing the mark set by O'Shea Baker last season. And as these defensive backs have kind of grown into this season and kind of gotten better as time has gone on, J. Mike's been a big part of that.
Well, I mean, you look at the numbers of yards. I think we're 80 yards a game rushing that we're giving up right now. Okay, now obviously that's after a -12, whatever. But you don't do that by playing Tampa 2 and a bunch of too high coverage and stuff. Right, our safeties. You don't see many games where Jacob doesn't have a lot of tackles. So when you do that right, those corners are either in some type of quarters coverage, which means that's after 10 yards, that's man, right? Or they got to walk down and press. That's some man there. And, So it's they can go 50 plays in a row and not get any action, right, or get some action, and you don't notice them, but then they give up 2, and you're like, the corners didn't play good. Well, yeah, for 50 plays they played. So there's a lot of pressure on the position that those guys play. And so, no, I appreciate. I think he had 6 tackles. And they're little throws in the flat. Well, yeah, he's got to break on, make sure that 5-yard gain doesn't turn into a 15-yard gain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right now, I remember last year I asked you the identity of the team in the first week, and you're like, it's a little early. Well, I've learned from my mistake, and now what's the identity of this team right here now with 2 games to go?
Yeah, it's a confident team, okay, and because you have to learn how to win. You do. And that develops your identity. It really does. You learn things about yourself when you lose, all right? But in this sport, in my opinion, right, when you win, your body and your mind start to feel it, okay? And when that crucial play's coming. The preparation during the week and what it's going to pay off and stuff. And then you learn the satisfaction of the win, per our victory song, right, that there's just kind of, okay, we made an A on the test, okay? And so this team has kind of learned that. They've learned how to handle it. And then I told them the other day, this is one of the best teams I've coached. Who right now on this team, even though we won 4 games in a row, you're 5-1 in the conference, I don't know if we've got any guys that maybe Keyshawn that's probably without me pushing them in the all-conference ballot. Who's going to make who will be our first-team all-conference guy?
Yeah, right.
Statistically.
Right. Keyshawn's really the only one that comes to mind.
Right, because running back, we've done it by committee. Mm-hmm. Chase has done everything we've asked him to do as far as, whatever it takes. If he's got to run it 14 times, only throw it 14 times. Sometimes he's thrown it 29 times, right? So statistically, therefore, your receivers aren't going to have, big numbers. And then on defense, like I said, you take Keyshawn's tackle for loss or sacks, which is what he does for us. Maybe, like I said, part being is that they are a team, and then special teams chipping in.
Yeah.
Our freshman Trey Cotton blocks a punt. I've never seen a punt blocked that far.
Oh my! It was a bullet.
Did it hit his helmet or something?
We need to go back and film on it and what part of his body.
So you got a freshman blocking a punt. You got redshirt freshman Deuce returning punts. Cade coming in, making those field goals over the year. He's been really good all year. So there's just a lot of different guys that chip in. And I don't always know who's going to be the star or who's going to get the headline.
But, and I 100% agree with you, for all of that to work out, it's a heck of a coaching staff, too, because you all have your responsibilities and it's all coming together.
Well, I enjoy this staff. I go to work. I tell guys all the time, I can't hire you. If I hire you, don't make it miserable to come to work. Okay, if I can't laugh and joke and have these kind of conversations, and now it's a head coach, right? My job is to sometimes say some uncomfortable things, correct some, but that's part of my job. And this group handles it great. They try to please and to give me what I'm asking for, and it's bled off to the kids. And that's I started a staff meeting yesterday. I said, hey, great job, guys. I mean, were we more talented than that team? Yeah. Okay. So the defense did what they're supposed to do, but you see it every week in college football. Whatever, it doesn't always work out like that. Some guys are motivated, you're out of gap, and things start snowballing on you, and you didn't let that happen.
Yeah, coming up this week, Charleston Southern, they're coming off a bye week and on a 3-game winning streak going into that bye week as well. Coach Gabe Gardenia is third year there with the Buccaneers, and you talked about the quarterback Zoltan Osborne. He's been tremendous for them in that winning streak. 7 total touchdowns, no interceptions, and they've got a linebacker, Justin Waters, who's forced a nation-best 8 fumbles. Just by himself. When you turn on the tape and you think about Charleston Southern, what's going through your mind on that?
Well, last year we were on the road, and we got after them pretty good. Defense scored. We had a couple big plays and stuff, and they were kind of reeling a little bit last year, but they've done a good job. Their staff has. Go back and look at their last 5 games in the conference. Close loss to Gardner Webb. That's 30-27. Close loss to, played Tech, relatively close, right? And then they go in and win 3 games in a row. They're a problem. They got a good team. On the quarterback, I think he's had for the last 2 games. He's thrown for 280 yards a game. All right, roughly 300 against SEMO. He looks like one of the more natural throwers in the league. All right, so and I see a couple good receivers running out making plays. So that concerns me. The next thing on defense, they're very multiple. All right, more multiple than the defense we've seen. Similar to last year to what they did, but if you went and watched tape with me right now, and I said, let me show you 20 plays, it's never the same front and same coverage consecutively.
Wow.
So every snap, it goes from 4 down, this coverage. Then the next play, it's 3 down, this coverage. And then it goes back to 4 down with this blitz. Then it goes back to 3 down with this blitz. So very multiple. And so maybe in some spots they, like all of us, you're not as big and as fast as you want, but with their schemes, it makes up for maybe a lack of size or lack of this, or lack of that, because you're kind of chasing your tail as an offensive staff, trying to make sure you got, you go from having 12 runs down to 6. Because that you can't get into practice reps of blocking everything, and you don't know when it's coming.
Yeah. Hey, it's senior day. Last question for you. And over 20 seniors. Alex going to be
25, I think.
25 going to be honored on Saturday. How do you look to send them out? And with a good victory, and a lot of guys coming in as transfers, but a lot of them, the Mitch Appletons, the Josiah Tingleys, the Jay Mikes, that have been here for 5 or 6 years. A lot of time spent with this program.
No, it is. It's bittersweet, no doubt about it. I mean, it's a before the game. It's a. Some people may look at it as a distraction. No, not really. I mean, it's their day. It's their last time to play in a home game.
Families will be
there. Okay. I mean, not many of these guys are going to the NFL. That's just, it's a small percentage that get to do that. They've got one more game left on the road, but this is the last time they're playing Hardy Graham Stadium. So it's a big day. I enjoy being a part of that. I want to send them out as a winner in their locker room, right? To sing the Davis fight song one more time, right? So we'll do everything we can for those guys to get an opportunity to do that, and it's a playoff game to us, right?
Oh yeah,
it's a playoff game. That's what I told them. The playoffs are this week, man. You win, then you go to next week's playoff, right? Maybe the official one would be the week after that, okay? But you got 8 quarters of football left. It's playoff, and you win round 1, round 2, you get to round 3, which is the national playoff. So that's how we're looking at it, and I'm excited to be back in Hardy Graham.
Oh, Coach, thanks so much for your time, as always, and good luck here in this upcoming week.
Hey, absolutely, man. And once again, we'll have to add a new twist next time you're in that locker room.
Okay.
All right. Maybe we'll give him the baton, and he can ask what the word is. Now, I want you to know, of all the jokes and the ridicule I do to you, that's worth more than any money I could give you.
Oh,
it is
awesome.
I appreciate. Oh, Coach, that's awesome. Hey, that was amazing. And thank you again. That was awesome. That was great. I'm glad it fired up the group. Got it going. Got you fired. Everybody.
Well, Ray, nobody will ever question your dedication, loyalty, or enthusiasm for the BOA.
That's gonna make us win.
And
I will do it.
And after seeing you with your shirt off now. Yes, that's everybody's question out there. He has hit puberty, but he's good to go. Thanks so much for your time. To see you Saturday.
If I quit this season, I still be the greatest.
Skyhawk Sports Talk Podcast is brought to you by Weekly Ford Nissan.
That'll do it for yet another episode of Skyhawk Sports Talk here at the Level Up Arcade Bar at Woodfire Pizza Kitchen. Davis, Gregory, Chris Brinkley.
Those coaches are great.
They are fantastic. You never know what any of them are going to say, really. You never know. Sometimes that's a little scary.
That's good. It keeps us on that.
Hey,
or at least you on your toes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Chris, great episode as always. Coach McMillan, awesome talking with him about the Pat Summit Heritage Classic. Coach Shulman, Skyhawks are 2-0 in back-to-back seasons for the first time ever in Division I. And then UT Martin football started the year 1-5 and now 5-5 overall, and sitting here at 5-1 in conference play with 2 games left, and Senior Day coming up on Saturday, and volleyball Senior Day coming up here this week. And what a great conversations that we had.
Always support the Skyhawks. If there's a home game or home event, be there. It's great entertainment. It's fun for the whole family. Go to utmsports.com and check out the calendar.
And if you need tickets and you know Chris, or you have somebody who knows Chris, and you can reach out to me on social media, ask us for tickets and we will get you tickets.
We'll figure it out.
We're going to get you in the door. I promise you that. It is. Don't worry about the money or anything. We're getting you in the door. Don't worry about it. For Chris Brinkley, Matt Gorin behind the camera, and all of our great staff here at UT Martin, all of our great coaches and student athletes on with us throughout the year on Skyhawk Sports Talk. I want to thank you all and say God bless as we sign off here from Woodfire Pizza Kitchen and Level Up Arcade Bar.
If I quit this season, I still be the greatest.
Skyhawk Sports Talk Podcast is brought to you by Weekly Ford Nissan.